Hi there. Welcome to Apple World once more. Bam! No doubt I stress over that person that you're not in contact with right now. Are you God helping us totally? I mean, I've been in such extremely close contact with him. That's insane. It's simply a tough spot. Bam Margera, the famous star of Ass, has stood out as truly newsworthy with his turbulent excursion through recovery in an astounding new development. Margera supposedly left a detox place early and has set his sights on the energetic lights of Las Vegas. However, what drove him to this unexpected choice? And what's the significance here for his continuous fight with compulsion and psychological well-being to reveal insight into the circumstances we go to? As a matter of fact, Steve-O is one more cherished individual from the Ass team who has shared his contemplations on Margera's most recent ventures. Prepare yourselves for a smart point of view from somebody who knows firsthand the battles and wins of exploring the clouded side of popularity. Blemish's choice to leave the detox place rashly has left many pondering the hidden explanations for his activities. The disturbed television star, known for his wild tricks and unusual way of behaving, had been looking for help at a detox place in San Diego. California sources near the circumstance uncovered that Margera essentially didn't have any desire to finish the program leaving the office recently. This new stretch in recovery was only one in a series of endeavors by Margera to face his well-established fights with habit and emotional well-being. Throughout the long term, he's wrestled with substance misuse and battled with his psychological prosperity, which has come about in rehashed patterns of looking for proficient assistance and afterward falling once more into disastrous examples trying to offer help. Previous NBA star Lamar Odom, who had too looked for treatment at a similar detox community, had urged Margera to remain and proceed with his excursion towards recuperation anyway, in spite of Om's earnest attempts. Margera decided to leave the specific conditions encompassing Margera's takeoff, and his ongoing whereabouts remain unsure by the thrill ride of occasions, highlighting the continuous difficulties he faces in his own life as news broke about Bam Margera leaving recovery. Rashly, one individual who was especially impacted by this development was Steve-O. Margera's long-term companion and individual Ass star Steve-O, who's had to deal with his own nerve-wracking excursion of habit and recovery, communicated profound disillusionment and destruction after hearing the news. Having fought his own evil presences and encountered the ups and downs of restraint, Steve-O saw firsthand the massive significance of remaining focused on the recuperation cycle, and seeing Margera's choice to accept recovery without a doubt struck an excruciating rope inside him. Steve-O, known for his openness and trustworthiness about his battles, uncovered that he had put extraordinary expectations in Margera's way of temperance. He held on to seeing Margera's certified longing to change and trusted that this time may be different. The fresh insight about Margera's takeoff severely impacted Steve-O, as it seemed like an individual mishap in the continuous fight against enslavement. Steve-O communicated his profound worry for his companion's prosperity and underscored the significance of remaining on the way to recuperate. He conceded that seeing Margera's battles had caused him to scrutinize his own excursion and brought back recollections of his own dull times. It was an obvious sign of the delicacy of balance and the steady exertion expected to keep up with it, notwithstanding his failure, and the latrine took on his own recuperation. Steve-O, consistent with his humane nature, offered his sincere help to Margera. He figured out the intricacies of enslavement and recognized that it was a deep-rooted fight. Steve-O wished Margera only awesomeness and communicated trust that he would track down the solidarity to commit once again to his recuperation. Stowe's reaction fills in as a strong update that the way to moderation is loaded with hindrances and difficulties that are normal. It highlights the significance of having areas of strength for an emotionally supportive network and the flexibility expected to get oneself after a fall while he was crushed by Blemish's choice. Stowe's unflinching sympathy and concern epitomize the bond divided among these Ass stars and their common encounters, yet we should not fail to remember that Steve-O, being the clever and comedic character, has figured out how to infuse a dash of humor into his reaction too in his unmistakable style. I surmise Bam just couldn't avoid the enticement of Vegas. I mean, who can fault him? The splendid lights, the wild gatherings, and the vast smorgasbords. It resembles a jungle gym for adults on a super durable sugar rush. Anyway, in the midst of the energetic exchange, Steve-O clarified that he perceived the weightiness of the circumstances. He shared stories from his own process, including the times when he felt nearly surrendering just to track down the solidarity to proceed with. I've been there, man. I understand what it seems like to wind up in a very difficult situation and believe it's absolutely impossible to get out. However, here's the thing, there's consistently an exit plan. It may not be simple, and it might require a few difficult decisions, however. It's conceivable in a lighter tone, he added. I mean, Bam and I have done a few pretty crazy tricks in our lives, yet nothing can come even close to the madness of engaging habits. It resembles a definitive outrageous game, yet without the well-being net or the sponsorships. Stowe's capacity to offset humor with sympathy displayed his veritable worry for Air's prosperity. He recognized the intricacies of fixation, recognizing that it takes colossal endeavors and assurance to remain on the path of moderation, wrapping up his explanation. Steve, I really wanted to leave us with one final swallow, saying bam on the off chance that you're listening. Recall that life is a ton like a skateboard slope in some cases, yet you must residue yourself off. Get back up and continue to ride. Assuming that you want a riding pal, you know I'm generally here for you, man, with his extraordinary mix of humor, shrewdness, and empathy. Stowe's reaction to Bam Blemish's takeoff from recovery advised us that even amidst testing conditions, it's fundamental to keep up with trust, support each other, and keep in mind the force of giggling headed for recuperation. The insight about B. Marrera leaving recovery to set out at the end of the week in Las Vegas has left fans and companions worried, as well as started responses from different individuals from the AS team known for their nearby security. What's more, through shared encounters, these people have expressed their viewpoints on Margera's choice with a blend of compassion and solidity. Johnny Knoxville, the courageous head of the AS pack, communicated his mistake yet, in addition, stressed the significance of individual responsibility. In a clear way, he expressed that we've all experienced our fair share of battles and we comprehend the difficulties of dependence. However, by the day's end, every one of us needs to pursue the decision to focus on our well-being and prosperity. I trust Bam understands the gravity of his activities and does whatever it may take to refocus. We can't disregard the baffling. Chris Ponus, known for his wild jokes and lighthearted soul, while recognizing the troubles of engaging habits, really wanted to infuse a portion of his brand name humor into his reaction with a devilish smile. He jested that Bam generally had a skill for astonishing attacks. I surmise Vegas seemed like the ideal spot to bet everything and throw the dice. Yet, hello, Bam, recall that in this game, a lot is on the line. Furthermore, it's not just about winning or losing, it's about your prosperity with respect to the consistently steady way he offered uplifting statements and understanding. I've seen Bam go through a few difficult stretches, and I realize how enthusiastically he's attempting to find his direction back. Leaving recovery early is a mishap, yet it doesn't characterize him as a whole stagger yet.